All right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at the market today and see where we're at. So this is gold. Let's start with this. It's a new week, as you know. I've already posted everything on Saturday, so the swing days for the week plus the swing hours for Monday have all been posted. Now, as you know, right from the post that we don't have a swing day yet, okay, but as you know, last week we were high and I was expecting the market to push down, and we also gave that level here. And I did give these levels before. This is a zone, as you can see, and this zone is possibly going to break, but we'll see how things pan out because it's not a swing day yet. Okay, so if the market goes back up into a swing day, we can sell on the swing day. If you want to follow this forward to sell again, that's also doable. When is that doable? Because we've got next swing days happening, and this is an impulse wave. The pullback can push back down again. All right, so we need to break down this level and come into the lower level, which is going to be this zone. So we've got this red bar here, and this red bar here, and this red bar here, which are all good to go long if the market comes down into that zone. So let's take a look at it price wise. If I go to the weekly, as you can see, we've got this zone here coming into the 62 to 60, right? So 2,936.31.23. So 2,636, sorry, not 900, 2,636 is there. And what else on the weekly? Let's get in there. 31.23, 2,631 and 23. This is 31. This is 23. So I think we can keep these on the radar. Okay, around here, let's say. We'll keep these on the radar. So I'm just going to refresh the chart as usual. So if you want to sell, we're going to do it a bit cautiously. Why? I'll tell you that as well. Because this was Thursday, Friday we've got retracement, Monday we're pushing into a retracement as well. So this retracement can also bounce off from this level. All right, so on the one hand, we have room to come down, okay? And on the other hand, before we get there, we could also go up. So if the market goes up into the next swing day, it'll be like an impulse wave. It'll be an A, B, C up and then sell off, okay? So that's one level. Now the first resistance, as you can see, is going to be that 48 level there. So that 48 is 2,703. That's the daily. Okay, so I'm just going to move this up into 2,703. So this is the first resistance. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. If we break above that, okay, we've got on the daily the first target of 54, which you can see here, which is 2,733. Okay, which is a bit far out all the way there. Okay, which is pretty well, there's already a line there. Okay, so this zone is not a bad place, and there's just a slight gap here, which I think it'll fill if we get up in there. So if you want to sell again, you can sell from here or here. This is the downwards motion. If we want to buy, I want to be buying at the lower end of things. Okay, on the monthly, if we just do a bit of a recap, as you can see, we've got that 76.75, which is 2,649 to 55. Okay, so 2,655 is there. 49 is there. Okay, so we do have a bit of room to come down, and that's basically it. Okay, and that's all we can do. So if you want to sell, do it from the highs here. Okay, that's the weekly pivot, daily pivot zone. Mind the gap as usual. Or from here, that's the daily PST. On the weekly, do I have a resistance PST? The good buy kiss is at 73, which is 2,732, which will actually bring us to there. So this is, again, also a good place where you can target if the market breaks out. Okay, so if we do break out, we might be going into that zone. So if we end up high on a swing day, we want to sell. If we end up low on a swing day, we want to buy. And if you want to buy from this zone, it's also doable, because if I take that as an impulse wave, that's going to turn into a Fibonacci level there, right on the discount rate, closing all the gaps, and this is your manipulation bar here. Okay, so this is also not a bad spot for the market to go long. Now, I haven't entered the swing hours. Let's put them in there then, shall we? All right, so these are the hours. So we can, if you're going to do intraday trading at swing hours, buying from this zone, or at this manipulation bar, it's not a bad idea. Okay, you can do that as an intraday trade. Okay, so right in there, as you can see, it's already pretty much there, tapped in. Okay, that's the bar, and it's tapped in. So it's okay for an intraday trade to go up and so on. And if that is an impulse wave, we've got an A, B, C down in a discount zone. So going up, you can cover the trade up to here. And if it decides to push further up, which it can do because there is a gap there, you can follow that through all the way into there, or the high of last week, or the high of Friday. Okay, and see how things pan out from there as well. Okay, because there are two ways this can go. All right, we can go up from here. Okay, like I said, impulse wave A, B, C. We can get back up here where the manipulation is, or in fact go all the way up here where there's also a gap there. So they're both feasible. To buy is also feasible. If it goes up, to sell is also feasible too, to push all the way down here. All right, let's take a look at the euro dollar. So it's a new week. Okay, so new week, new setup. That's really nice to see. I talked about this yesterday. Remember, like a few months ago, right? Remember we said if the market breaks out above this triangle, we will go up, right? And I said if it comes down, if it breaks down, we should come down here, because if that's the impulse wave, we should have like a push down here, right? And this is exactly what still may happen, which is good for us, because then we anticipate that if we buy here, we're going to be on a wave at the end of the wave 2. So we should be coming into a wave 3, and that's a monthly. So that's going to be like a pretty long move, and that should take us all the way up into that zone there. All right, so that could be a really good push up if that eventuates. And as you can see, this is turning into a channel there, and we're in the mid zone. So the market has potential to push down, come here, close the gaps, and then start going up. So I don't mind doing further sales on this when the market goes up. Now remember, this is a monthly, so going all the way down may be a bit of a wave. So the first good buy kiss here is at the 39. So selling at 1.0741 is okay. And on the daily, let's take a look what we have. 1.0741, and this was your swing days. Let's get rid of this as well, because Wednesday was a swing day, remember? So 0741 is basically around here. Okay, let's just do this. So we've got kind of like room to push further down, right? Now the support for the day is this 32, right? This one there, this 32.90. That's your support for the day. 1.0652, 0653, let's say 0653. All right, so we have a bit of a room to come down here into this zone on the daily, right? That's the support. And on the weekly, the good buy kiss is going to be 39, which is, like I said, 1.0741. Just want to keep this in check as well. 1.0701. 0741 is here, and 0807 is there. All right, so this is also important for us. So if the market does pop up, we can sell off here, mind the gap, okay? And there's a bit of a gap here. So the weekly pivot also is going to be a zone for us. If we go up, selling, selling, selling at trade hours are okay to do so to push this down. Because we have a big move down here, this big impulse wave down, the market's selling heavy, as you can see, and this zone is not a bad spot to actually have at least intraday support. Okay, so possibly going up. Why do we have an intraday support there? Because like I said, on the monthly and the weekly, the bigger time frame, we're going further down. All right, so we have some room to come down all the way into that 20 zone there, 1.0112, 1.0112 will pretty much cover all of that there. Okay, so that's still on the cards. Let's take a look at the SP 500. It's a new week. Here is the week. Now, what a whopper, eh? With the elections and so on. Now with this one, as you know also, here we are. We had Friday for a swing day, and then we had Wednesday. So that's last Friday. And then we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now it's Monday over there. And then we had Wednesday, didn't we? We had Wednesday, which is like a whopper. Okay, all the way into there. So as you can see now, this obviously I was looking for also an excuse for this to happen, but it didn't happen. It just pushed up straight away, which is fine. Okay, this week we might see that going up because this is the 11th. Okay, so we've got the 11th happening, 11th of November. So this week we might still see the market pushing upwards, and then we'll see how things pan out. Okay, later on down the line, as we get up into here, we should hit somewhere. Okay, and then kind of pull back on it. And where's that going to be? Possibly slightly above there in that zone there. All right, so if we head up, I'm okay to also start selling in this zone. Okay, so a little bit more an up move is expected. This is a good impulse wave. Okay, it's taken us somewhere, and on the swing day, if you check your swing days, okay, for the indices, you'll see today is a swing day. All right, so we might look for a retracement and then a push up, then into the next swing day that's going to happen. Okay, now being at the targets here is enough to retrace. So coming back into 66 for a good buy kiss on the weekly is 5951. So 5951 will bring us into there. Okay, so seeing the market pull back, it'll also close some gap here, as you can see, and this is also a level where the market broke out. Okay, so coming into there is good. On the daily, let's see where we can head back down into. A good buy kiss is here, which is 56, and that'll be 5894. So we'll put that on the radar as well. 5894, which is pretty much on the dot with the weekly. All right, so the weekly pivot is also a good zone. So we can expect a bit of a retracement. If you want to sell the highs into those levels, that's fine. Just cover your trade as the market comes to the daily pivot or the high of the previous week's high before the breakout on Friday. So this zone here, right? This blue zone there. Okay, so a bit of a pullback to close the gap. So if you're going to sell, I'm okay to sell it because it's a swing day. All right, just do it in a way that you cover your trade and then follow it to the target. Now remember, the market is still going up. Okay, so as the market comes down, we might see some support here and here. Okay, but eventually we will be having a big drop down. I'm going to keep that there, 5794. Okay, but this is the daily. And that's the daily, that's the weekly. So both of those are good. All right. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Bitcoin. Now remember, all the indices have the same swing days today. So looks like a bit of a retracement is on the cards, which is good. So like I said, this is why selling the highs are okay for a retracement. So coming back with the Dow Jones all the way into that level is okay. Just draw that zone for yourself, because this is at least where you can cover the trade as well at 43,450. Okay, so 43,450. Let me get rid of these because we're in a new week. Okay, and there we go, right? So the market should at least come into 43,450, which is down there. So this is the level we're going to keep in mind, 43,450. Okay, so that's the zone we're going to keep in mind. And if you're going to sell in the US session, any push up to pull down, okay, any pull up to push down, let's say, is okay. And you might want to wait for the New York hours. Now remember, my platform is 1 hour behind my time zone. Normally we're at the same time zone, but in the winter we're not. Okay, so it's 6:30 on the bar here, but it's 7:38 my time. So the platform is 1 hour back. So if you see the difference in the time, that's why. But things are always going towards UTC plus 3 hours. So just cross them along according to your time zone. Okay, and then treat it that way. So selling down a little bit, I think, is okay. On the weekly as well, that zone is a price level we need to keep in mind. Now this is going to be a good sell-off level, 44,805, 710. 44,710. That is going to be way out there. Wow, that is going to be way out there. Let me just redo that on the weekly. 72. Wow, 44,710, 805. Can it get there? Well, because today is a swing day, wow, that is just going to be a big move if it does. Okay, so this is what we can do. 805's up there. Okay, whoops. Okay, so this is what we can do. If the market does dip down back into this zone here, okay, high of Thursday, if we come down into the low of Friday, do a stop sweep and then go up, it's not a bad idea. You can also go long with this one. You can see on this one last week, this worked out really good because the market was down. Okay, so when the market was down, when the swing day came into effect on Wednesday, it just like panned out really well. It's the big push up. Then we had Thursday, Friday, expanding the range. Okay, but today, what we might see with the swing hours being from the highs, and today being a swing day, at least pulling back into a retracement is on the cards. So I'd keep that in mind. Okay. Today, okay, right, and this week, like I said, we might see the market continuing in that direction before a change is happening. Let's take a look at Nasdaq. Now with Nasdaq as well, with all the market going up full on steam, what we might do is, because it's a swing day, like I said, with the SP 500, Dow Jones, set this back a little bit for a retracement. On this one, on the daily, you can see the good buy is at 66. So buying at 21,039 and selling the highs is not a bad idea. I'm just going to get rid of this. There's just too many lines. That's better. So 21,039. is going to be there. All right. And we've got the weekly pivot there. So the market pulling back to go up is also okay. Monday being a swing day, it could also be like a place where the market pulls back to go up. This level is also LCL1, 21,117, which is pretty close. 21,117 is pretty much on the dot there with the daily pivot. Okay, so coming back, going up, coming back, going up, that could be the case. On the weekly, you got targets up there, which is 71, as you can see, 21,892. Where should we come back to? Coming back to this LCL1, 2943, 20,943 is also doable. Okay, so you got to match trading hours. There's a bit of a gap here, so you're going to have to mind the gap. And if I extend this out a little bit, this is the gap zone here. Okay, so but the market can come in sweep, and obviously the weekly pivot too. On the daily, that was it. On the weekly, yes, 71. So you could target that 21,892 if you're trading Nasdaq. 21,892, just like with the Dow Jones. That is quite a bit out there. Okay. 21,892. So put that in there if you're trading Nasdaq. On the daily as well, there is a target, 79. That's 22,127. As you can see, they're like quite out there and, up and about. All right. And that's basically it. So the market can come back to push up into the next swing day, or we could just keep pushing up. If it doesn't come back though, and keeps pushing into this zone, then we'll have the next swing day and then push up. Okay. I rather end up somewhere high this week. So if it retraces, I'd like to see it somewhere up. Then next week, we should then see a sell-off if that's the case. Okay, if that's going to be the case. If the market comes down into the next swing day, from the Monday into the next swing day, then we're going to have to take a different approach. Okay, we're going to have to be buyers. Right, then let's take a look. Let's get rid of these. These are from the previous weeks, I'm thinking. All right, so here we are. It's Monday now. Last week, as you know, with Bitcoin, let me just double check. We had Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. All right, so this is your, let's do it. Tuesday, right? Tuesday, market makes a low here. Okay. Then we've got Wednesday, Thursday. Then we've got Sunday. Sunday, boom. Okay, so market doing a big up move, nice and easy. And going all the way into there. Okay, so that's the line there. Which is that line there. So this zone with the targeting there as well. We're at targets here as well. So now with Bitcoin, we don't have a swing day today. So you're going to have to wait for the swing day. I wouldn't muck around here trying to get in or out, because on the weekly we're at a target. So the market is now in 81K, which is fine. Okay, nothing to complain about here. Wait for the swing day, and then if you want to day trade it, you can push it down. This thing never broke down, so not much to talk about. The next level to buy is going to be down here. Okay, so then the market should come down in order to go up again. I'm still going to keep this on the cards because of the gaps here, but maybe they did fill in the gap here. That's also an option. See, this is a gap. Or they say, well, This is the gap. We're filling it, and that's it. So that could also be the situation. And you can see that's pretty aggressive. So if we pull back again, that's your red bar. This will be a buy zone again. Okay. And that's basically it. Now with Bitcoin, obviously what you want to do is don't stand in front of it until unless it's a swing day. If it's a swing day, then you can take that and push it down here and possibly into there, which is where we should be getting into. Okay, this is already done, so we can get rid of that. So the next zone where the buyers should come in should be in this zone here. All right, and that's basically it. We'll also put a line here, okay, because of the gap here. But like I said, you know, they might treat this as we've filled in the gap. So at least down here, though, for the market to be a buyer again at a good, good, nice impulse. And that's it.